Yo, what is up, everybody? The card just finished up. UFC Sacramento. It was a banger. I'm going to get straight into the main event because my pick was wrong, but it was pretty good, honestly. And Gregory Rodrigues was so impressive. You know, the tools that he used, the leg kicks were insane in the second round. Literally dropped Hernandez like 3 times. Robocop is just lethal with them. The straight shots were insane. And I do not know what the judges were doing, giving that a 48-47. I think it's clear 49-46. But, I digress. I think, Hernandez really just struggled with the damage that Rodrigues was able to do it to him. And it was just terrible. Switched to southpaw and, was able to land some shots on Rodrigues, but it was never enough. And, Hernandez is great at putting people up against the fence and chain wrestling, but Rodrigues defended 90% of the takedowns and it was just dominant, and second round was amazing. There was really great moments in this fight, really can't complain at all. And, really amazing. The whole card was pretty good, honestly. There was some upsets, being this one. Bro, we're going to get into that. The Blob, bro. The Blob freaking title crawl starts now. Sends people flying across the cage. Just genuinely insane. His parents own a bakery. That's all you got to know. We will get into this, but just amazing performance by RoboCop. I think his call out was great as well. Calling out DDP is just a really good one because, DDP just got in the win column again against Usman, and I think that would be a good fight. I really do think that would be good, especially seeing, the takedown defense. It's pretty impressive. And his power, Hernandez was able to stop the power with just chain wrestling and getting him a little bit tired, so he didn't have the same pop that he usually does, but super impressive still. And I do not know what's next for Anthony Hernandez, bro, because I don't know, bro. We're going to have to go to the drawing board, and maybe I'll make a video on who's next for all these guys. But Rodrigues, I think that's a good call out, honestly. I think they should get in there. DDP didn't take that much damage. RoboCop definitely needs some time, but there we go. Obama, bro. Back in the win. Well, not back in the win column. Four fight win streak. So he's up there. I think he's going to be ranked 5 or 6. Just really impressive. Went to the body a lot in the first 2 rounds, and that really worked out for him because, Hernandez was really preoccupied on them. And then when he went upstairs in the championship rounds, it was just really good. And yeah, Hernandez didn't have much for him. It looked like at one point that Hernandez might have been able to, knock him out in the end of the second round because he, had a pretty good combination, then went in for the takedown, but it just wasn't enough. I really did think that he was going to be able to turn the tide there, but bro, RoboCop is just a beast. Like every time he was up against the fence, he was able to change his hips when Hernandez was able to lock his hands and free the grip of that lock and, get underhooks and everything. Really impressive. And yeah, bro, DDP, I really want to see how that fight works out. I think DDP's just might be a little too quick on the feet, over 5 rounds, but we never know. Gregory Rodrigues is, bro, he's top 5 for sure. Going into, I'm going to do it bottom to top now. Damn, they don't want me to do it. Freaking pulling my mouse up there. Chanel Dyer, easy knockout. This one was impressive, but bro, I feel bad for Elias Reed. Like, she should not have been in here with Chanel Dyer. And, I like to see it. Chanel Dyer's young, 25 years old, says she wants to put on good fights, strike, and she did that. So not much else to say. Elias Reed, this was a mismatch. This was a freebie for Chanel Dyer, but impressive nevertheless. And yeah, I'm excited to see. She'll definitely be ranked in the next few fights, maybe one more unranked and give her a ranked opponent, but very impressive. On to the next. We got this wrong, bro. What is going on right now? I think the ghost of Wes Schultz just showed up. He got body kneed so badly, gave up right as it hit. I do not blame him. Jackson McVeigh is really big and, just decent striking. I don't think neither of these guys are going to be like a ranked, person at middleweight, but nevertheless, very impressive. Wes Schultz, you're cooked, bro. You sold the parlay. You sold the parlay, bro. This was the fight for the hair products. Just know that. But on to the next respect. Yo, what is going on, guys? Holy shit. We're not using UFC.com anymore, bro. Stan Dorseville pulls out the win. This was a crazy close fight, a war. But, he was able to get this done and super, happy for him, honestly, because, saw that he was working at Home Depot, and then, he was honestly surprised that he won kind of because it was very close, but, I think he definitely edged it out. Let's see round 3, pretty close on the significant strikes, really. So, yes, round 2, he definitely won and was able to just put the pressure on Gaze Young and everything, but, super, super impressive fight. Honestly, I was not expecting that. His striking looked really good, and I thought he was going to pressure more and wrestle a little bit more, but he just did a great job on the feet, had a really long reach advantage, which definitely helped him out, but his shots looked good. He was really, not pulling them at all and had some decent pop, nothing crazy, but, really impressive. I'm excited to see him, He doesn't have a lot of fights, but he'll definitely be interesting to watch for sure. Bro, the GOAT, Mauricio. I don't know what's going on today. Mauricio Barboza, Ryan Coos. This one was almost scary. The way that Mauricio Barboza was able to hit the equilibrium of Ryan Coos, and, bro, he was cooked. He got hit to the ground, and he was kind of just looking forward, not reacting at all, and really good stoppage by the ref because, this was really scary. And, good job by Barboza not to have extra shots added on because there was just no point of it. Super weird knockout, but super impressive because, bro, get this guy a better opponent. You know what I'm saying? Like, Ryan Coos has no boxing. He had no chance. This is all I can say is Barboza, bro. He's the GOAT, bro. He's the GOAT. I want to see him fight somebody, not somebody in the rankings yet, but somebody just an impressive fighter. Like, I want to see someone with some good skill. On to the next, bro. His parents own a bakery, dude. His parents actually own a bakery. Nasrat Hasrat, just your time has come, bro. I'm scared for this guy's health. Like, I genuinely don't even want to make jokes because this submission was bad. At the last, there was no time left. He got submitted, was like twitching after he got submitted. Chris Padilla just really impressive in this fight. Striking, he put it together and everything, and, just controlled it. I'm not going to doubt Chris Padilla until he gets like a step up in competition because he really does know how to put it together and win. He has been impressing me. Everything he does is just a solid level, and I think that he definitely does have a future at lightweight. Like, I think, he could definitely try to get in that top 15 for sure. He is a great fighter. I'd like to see him. You could maybe give him a guy close to the rankings, maybe if not like 14 or 15th. So impressive nevertheless. On to the next. Bro, the Blob, bro. The title crawl is here. Shamil the Bob Gaziev is just, bro, I told you guys, Nzechukwu cannot be backed up. Like, if he gets backed up, he's cooked. He can't fight on the back foot. And he had his hands down. Bro, that was the most powerful shot. I don't know if you guys seen the edit where, Dana White is telling him it's like 20 sledgehammers, a Ford F-150 type of collision at Shamil the Blob Gaziev. That's him right there. That was showing. He sent Nzechukwu flying. Bro, I'm telling you, bro, he's the GOAT. The title will be in his hands. Title by 2027. Let's freaking go. Shamil the Bob Gaziev, good shit. Bro, pull out the small violins. Look at this, bro. The Ryan Douglas. Jamal Emmers, really good performance, honestly. The Ryan Douglas was, backing him up, and then Jamal Emmers was just able to hit a 2 over the top, and I don't know what happened, bro. Like, you're cooked, bro. You ruined everybody's parlay. I don't even want to talk about you anymore, bro. Like, I had respect for you, but on to the next, man. I don't want to talk about that. This should not have been booked at all. Anthony Whitt, Terrence Chapman, bro. I don't know what else to say, dude. Like I don't know, man. This is sad, and this is not the strike numbers, but yeah, man. Anthony Witt. I think you could build this guy up a little bit more. I don't think you have to step him up in competition too much. Just being that he doesn't have a lot of fights, and I do think he would get cooked if you give him a top 10 guy. So I know they like to do that in heavyweight, bump a guy up until he gets one fight in the UFC, put him in a top 10 fight. I don't think they should do that in this one. I think they should just wait, let him develop his striking, everything like that. I think it's unnecessary, but really impressive. He looks quick on the feet too. And obviously the wrestling is just crazy, just being that football background. And, I've heard he's just very impressive in the training room. So, I think he'll keep on winning like this. You give him opponents like that. But, yeah, bro, absolute slaughter. Bro, Charlie Judice, I told you guys, bro, this page is bugging out. Why is Chavez, bro? Like, Chavez should not have been 8-0, and this is a super easy fight for Judice, and he's the GOAT, bro. We like to see that. We like to see the WMMA fights that have strikers. We do not want to see, like, cage wrestling and shit. Good stuff. We need this. We need this in division. The women's title fights have not had a knockout in 5 or 6 years, mind you. That's how long it's been. So we need something, change it up. Bro, title run for Charlie Judice, but no, probably not. I'm not going to lie. But, impressive, definitely. Markel Medeiros, bro, I'm sorry for disrespecting you. This was a really great performance. He almost had Mason Jones out on the feet, 3 elbows in a row, and Mason Jones did not know where he was at. Finished up with the hook combos. Crazy performance. Like, I was not expecting this in the slightest. But, yeah, dude, like, Markel Medeiros is better than I thought, because when he fought Chris Padilla, he didn't seem impressive, but I just feel like, he could definitely have a future. I don't think he gets into, I don't know if he could be a ranked guy. You know what I mean? Like, I'd have to see who they match him up against, but showed improvements for sure. Just looked really good. Struck with conviction, not point fighting this time, and really impressive. So, good win right there. Bro, RDR title run starts now. 205. Easy win, bro. Bro, Roman Dolidze had no enemies. One significant strike. This was terrible. I think he tried to trip RDR, and RDR ended up on top. And from there, it was over. 106. I think all of these strikes were literally on the ground. It was just a massacre. It shouldn't have happened. I think, why are you going to book 2 middleweights at light heavyweight anyways? Watch them book RDR against Robert Whittaker. Watch them do this. They would do some dumb shit like that. I'm telling you. Doesn't make sense, but, bro, I'm happy to see RDR win. There's not much to say about this, honestly. I'm excited. You could really give him anybody. I think you give him a top 15 guy. Nothing crazy. I think we give him 10 through 15, somebody in that range. Not top 10, just, build up his confidence. He was really emotional at the end of the fight, but I get it, bro. He lost. Title run starts now. Come on, let's go. 205. Good win for him, bro. It's time to learn Chinese, buddy. You're cooked. Victor Petrino, just not a great performance. I think some of it is on Sergey Spivak, but you got to go out there and try to get the finish. I understand you want to get that top 6 ranking. It's, going to be okay, but, feed him to Gable Loophole Stevenson, bro. This is what we got to do at this point, because, I think Gable Stevenson would genuinely beat Victor Petrino. I don't know if I'm crazy for that. I genuinely think he would beat him. And I think that's something that they would literally do just to get Gable Stevenson a ranking. I don't know if John Jones is going to be like, nah, don't go up that quick and everything to Gable, but I really do think that Gable Stevenson would beat him, and I think it would be funny if they actually matched him up with Gable Stevenson. But yeah, bro, Sergey Spivak, dude, I felt bad for him, honestly. It just was a terrible fight, bro. We got to send him to China, the PFL, whatever we got to do. We might have to get, bro, welcome back Almeida. Just welcome back. This is cooked. I mean, good stuff. Give him Gable Stevenson, bro. He's going to get in the loophole. We already went over this one, but I'm happy for him. DDP is next. Honestly, a great card, guys. And I hope you guys enjoyed. My predictions were kind of trash. I'm not going to lie. But next week, on the China card, they're going to be way better. I'm telling you. I did my film study, but stuff happens. You know what I mean? I went for some riskier picks this time. Didn't pay off. You know what I mean? We've been having a lot of upsets, but, it's all cool. I will see you guys in the next. Peace.